Hello and welcome back to Female Founder Through the Pandemic. This little series I've put together with the help of some absolutely amazing female entrepreneurs that have agreed to have a chat with me. And by now you know that I always think that my guests are much better than what I could ever be in presenting themselves. So I will hand over to Sarah, who is with us today, and she can tell you all about herself and her business.
Hi Fran, thanks for inviting me to join the series. Really appreciate that. So I'm Sarah and I have cultivated various different streams of income over the last 3 or 4 years. What I like to call a patchwork income stream, because 4 years ago my daughter and I left our London lives, moved into our camper van and went on a road trip around Europe, Scandinavia and North Africa for a year. So when we came back from that, I looked at finding those income streams that that allowed me to not go back into standard workplace. One of those income streams is my online shop called Mohobo, and I specialize in gifts for camper van and motorhome enthusiasts. I sell t-shirts and mugs and cushions and fun items like that, and that's what I'm focusing on at the moment.
Fabulous. I must admit, every time you talk about this year you took with your daughter, I am very jealous. I was telling this morning to someone else I interviewed, every time I talk to one of you, I just think, my job is all wrong. I should have done something else. But it does sound obviously very exciting, and it must have been a very good a very good experience. So you want to focus on the shop, on the e-shop now. So yeah. How were things before all of this started, and how are things now?
Well, things were going really well. I took over the business last February, and I spent a period of 3 months or so completely rebuilding the website, and I launched midsummer, and then I invested in some new designs as well to enhance the range that I already had. That went really well. We launched the new designs in the run up to Christmas. Q4 is always the big target for people in e-commerce or online shops, or any shops actually, retail of any kind. We did really well. I was so delighted with the Christmas sales that we took, and then coming into the new year, I planned for this year, 2020 was going to be my big push, and to support that, I was intending to branch off the internet and into real life and go along and do a bunch of shows, festivals, camper van shows, VW shows, and I was filling up my diary from spring, summer into early autumn. I had some new designs in the pipeline, and my stepdad and I got the DIY tools out and started building display stands, and I had sketched out my stall. I had all my plans, I had bunting, I had, everything was really well thought out in my mind, and now of course we have no option to do any of those things. All of the shows, all of the festivals, everything's been cancelled, so that's been very disappointing.
I can imagine, because it also sounds like the natural evolution for a business like that. So it's a very fitting activity to do, to take something out of the online and take it to the real life events where your target market is really, isn't it?
Absolutely. It was the real push this year to really boost my revenue and make some good sales over a 3 or 4 day festival. I would be hoping to clear quite a good profit margin, which I could then use to reinvest into new designs. I have the most amazing artist who takes my ideas and brings them to life, and also to reinvest. There's the on cost of getting to a show. There's the pitch stand fee. There's the stock that you buy. There's gazebo, the all of this, the dressing that you need for your stall. So there's an investment that you make with doing the trade shows and the festivals and so on. So this I really had intended to really push this year, because you've made those connections, you've met those people, and we love it. My daughter and I, she comes with me, and we have a fantastic weekend meeting people who then hopefully go home, they look on the website, they tell their friends about the website. You can't place a monetary value on that kind of exposure.
Yeah, and I think what you were saying is very true, because they made a personal connection with you. Then they're gonna be returning clients on their website, and because they are talking about your products, their friends will buy.
Yes.
I find that to be very true. Yeah. So once all of this happened and your events were cancelled, and obviously now, I mean, some might have been postponed, I would think, but no one knows when this can happen. So what did you do? Did you adapt something to boost your online sales? Did you make any changes in the way you were working before?
Yeah, so well, to begin with, things looked like they would be okay in terms of the online shop. We thought we would still be able to operate, but my supplier is now in lockdown, and his suppliers, the whole supply chain, has been locked down now. So I spent some time thinking and just working out, what can I do? How can I manage this situation? To begin with, I just created some new web pages and moved into gift vouchers. So I now have a gift voucher option on my website, and since doing that, I've again some thinking and some researching and so on, and I've now started looking at another supply chain, and there are suppliers still operating. They are bigger, they're more nationwide, and the margins are very much more in their favour than they are in mine. So my profit margin is dramatically reduced, but it will mean that I can keep selling. The downside of that is there's a lot of processing needed on my design artwork to get it into the right format for a different supplier. So I'm still having to invest a little time and a little money into having my key designs, my big sellers, converted to the format that these online suppliers need. So I'm in the process of doing that right now. And I feel it's a reasonable path to take. It won't be my full range. It'll be the core best sellers, and they'll be slightly different because of the format restrictions that I'm under, but it will mean that I can target special events like Father's Day, also the first show of the year, which was due to be in 2 weeks. I commissioned a design specifically for that show, and they are actually moving that show online. So they're going to have a weekend, a bit like the NHS camp out.
Yeah.
That show is going to generate a weekend camp with lots of things going on that people can dial into, and Zoom, and these live events. So I'm kind of also hoping to crank in a bit of sales there, and potentially get that design out there anyway. That particular show is also scheduled to run again in September, so it will be good exposure as long as things are coming back to normal and that September show goes ahead. Then some exposure now will hopefully
it's like a preview, isn't it? And then they come in September and they get the full range, and by September I suppose your supplier, your original supplier is gonna be back in business, and you can go back to having your full range with your normal designs and things.
Absolutely. I'm keen to go back to my original supplier. They're a small company, they're based in Cornwall. I've had fantastic working relationship with them before, so I'm keen not to abandon them. I'm just looking at ways to diversify now, to support my business to kind of stay afloat.
And I think everyone is having to do those little adjustments, and it's only temporary, so I think it's a very good solution you found, and it keeps you up, and they are still working, so it gives them an opportunity to get someone who knows you can go to them when you're in an emergency, and that's it, isn't it? So of all of these things, these changes, etc., is there anything that you've done because you had to, because of the emergency and because of the lockdown, but you're thinking, you know what, this is going to work even when we get out of this, or do you think when all of this ends you're going to go back to the old ways?
It kind of remains to be seen. It's very early in the diversification journey for me. If the online supplier works out well, then I may well use that channel to increase production. So the turnaround time is much quicker. The product range is smaller, but I've already got some ideas about new designs that I can come up with myself. That my artist does the most amazing artwork, but a lot of text-based designs I can do that myself. So if I can get a mug with a new text slogan, I think I'm a reasonably good writer, I'm quite witty, I can probably come up with a few good slogans, and start creating some different styles of mugs and t-shirts, then I probably will maintain that relationship, but it will be for a different style of product, for the Mohobo magic, as I like to call it, of those beautiful designs that are so well crafted by my artists. Those I will stick with my original supplier, because their product quality is amazing and they understand my brand really well. So I can see, a model going forward where I use both suppliers.
Yeah.
And if, the margins are lower, but if the sales are higher, then that evens out. We meet somewhere in the middle, and that may be the way that I see a new model.
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes complete sense to me. So this is the part that everyone fears, where I ask you to end this interview with 3 positives that this has brought for you. It can be positives about life, positives about work, both, whatever you like, as long as we end this with 3 positives.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, actually, I did spend some time thinking about this morning, and the absolute top number one positive to come out of this across the whole of my life is time. The time, just everything slowing down, gives so much more time to think about things, to react to things in a more considered way, rather than just reacting the whole time. And that also means there's a certain amount of drop. There's no pressure right now. I don't feel the same kind of pressure I did after Christmas to come into the new year with, fantastic ideas. And I did have those fantastic ideas, but bringing those ideas to life, there's quite a lot of pressure around that. And I feel this is a gift to slow down, think things through, and just allow some creativity to surface. And I'm really lucky in that my overheads are low. I don't have a business premises. I don't pay business rates. I don't employ anybody. So as a business owner, I haven't had those, really difficult circumstances to deal with that other people may have. So, it's about time for the business, time for my family, and time to just kind of, I don't know, stop and smell the roses. That's what they say, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or the daffodils.
Definitely, yes. And I find this is very true for me too. And I suppose for everyone, because first of all, I've never seen so many people running my whole life.
Yeah. I tell you that my second positive will be the fact that we rehomed a dog in the middle of February, about, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks before all of this really hit. And that's just been, an absolute boon. She's so much fun, and she's really charmed us, and we're completely besotted with her. And of course, we're just walking. So we're so lucky to have her. I think I might be in the minority, and I probably shouldn't say it because everybody will hate me, but I'm losing weight. I might be the only person in the lockdown. I'm still eating loads. I'm eating, but I'm just doing lots more exercise.
Very good. I like to hear that. I am actually exercising more because my gym has brought all the lessons online.
Brilliant.
And kept them at the same times. So it really works for you for your mind to think you're still in a routine. But also, with the lockdown, my little sister, my best friend, and 2 of my dearest friends, we all live in different places, because it's like Italy, but not the same places, and then Milan and France, and obviously me in Liverpool. So we're managing to get together 3 times a week and do an exercise session through Zoom. So
that's brilliant. I haven't tried it. We did try a dance class out. As you know, I live on a narrowboat, and we did try a dance class out on the bank here, but didn't really work so well. But my daughter is doing online fitness class with her friends, so yeah, we're a little restricted on space on the boat, but she seems to be managing quite well.
Yeah, why not? Fantastic. I really like it. And if people want to look you up, look at your website, get themselves a little present, get a present for someone who is in lockdown by themselves and would appreciate the presents, or they want to reach out on social media, where do they find you?
Yeah, so we website is www.mohobo.co.uk. Facebook page is Mohobo, and Instagram is Mohobo_gifts. So
Fabulous.
find us on any of those channels, and you know, it's not just gifts for other people, but gifts for yourself as well. If you're a camper van lover, or you have a motorhome, you know, come and check us out. We've got some lovely things.
Fabulous. Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure as always chatting to you. Thank you so much for agreeing to this, and I will speak to you very soon.
Thanks, Francesca. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.